Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I have the amazing Corey Welch here. Welcome, Corey. Great to have you.
Hi, Jackie. I'm so glad to be back. Appreciate that invite.
Busy agent. So I really appreciate you taking the time. Corey, let's just start by share with the viewers how many closed transactions did you have in 2022? Because it's a very impressive number.
Yes, thanks, Jackie. And 2022 was an amazing year. I ended up closing the year out with 183 closed transactions.
Oh, wow. And personally, yes, I was gonna ask you to say that. This is not a team. You closed 183 transactions personally. So for the agents watching, and there are a lot of newer agents, Corey, that are watching this. How long have you been in real estate?
Yeah, so I got my Michigan license in 2018 and my Ohio license in 2020. So I do both states. I did not really start using my real estate license actively until August of 2019. I sold a couple homes, but several were my own properties until that time. So licensed since 2018, active since I would say August of 2019, actually in the business, growing a business. And I went full-time officially January 1 of 2021. I was very much full-time in 2020, but I did have another part-time job that I was still having to dedicate quite a bit of time to.
Do you know how incredible this is, Corey? In 2 years, 3 years max, you've gone from working part-time, having a second job, to closing 183 transactions personally. Tell the viewers how, if someone wants to do what you've done, what's the roadmap? How do they get there?
Yeah. And I love this question because everyone wants to get there, but it doesn't happen overnight. And you have to have a plan. You have to first decide that you are going to do this, that whatever that transaction or whatever that business plan looks like for you, that you're going to do this. If you can't start out by doing that, you're not going to get there. So for me, I made the decision that I wanted to be a full-time real estate agent. My goal was to sell 50 properties a year. That was my goal. And which is an amazing accomplishment, to sell 50 homes. That's where I wanted to be. Obviously, the numbers we're talking about, we've exceeded that goal. So I started out by making that decision. I decided I needed a time blocking system because when I first started, I had another job, full-time job when I first started, and then went down part-time and then eventually full-time agent. You need a coach or a mentor or both. I have both. You need a professional real estate coach, and you also need a mentor, maybe someone local to you that's been in the business that you can, knock some ideas off here and there. And that's what I did. So I found a coach, I found a mentor, I started time blocking. I really created a business plan and where I wanted to go and where I was. Without a plan, you don't know where you are or where you're going. And that's how it all started. And here we sit.
Corey, your numbers, though, when we talk about 183 closed transactions in 1 year being I guess your second or third year working full time, this is an exceptional accomplishment. You're in the top, you're the best of the best in the business. So when you talk like this, like, okay, well, I guess sounds simple. Okay, you have a business plan now. Where do you find the motivation? Because how many hours do you work? First of all, a week, you would say.
Yeah, so I know sometimes I think I do put it a little too simply because I am so focused and dedicated to our industry and what I do, that sometimes, things naturally come to me now. I like to be out showing houses, listing houses, prospecting, working with clients, doing client events, and really having a plan. So for me, I mean, I do work a lot. You can't sell 183 homes and not work more than 40 hours a week. I think it really depends on the week, but sometimes I work 70, 80 hours a week.
Yeah, but when you love what you do, which I'm sure you do, it doesn't feel like
course.
work, right? That old saying. What was the breakdown of listings sold versus buyer sales for you last year, Corey? Because I know you said you did more listings in 2022 than previously.
Yeah, so I should have them off the top of my head, and I don't.
Percentage wise, more or less, doesn't have to be exact.
I would say probably 65-35.
65 listings and 35% buyers.
Correct. Yep, I would say, yeah, if I had to put a number on it right now, I'd say it's right around there, including both states, putting everything together.
Okay, so this is a pop quiz. I don't know how you're gonna answer this. Do you prospect Monday through Friday?
So, right, especially because I do your coaching, right, Jackie? This is I'm like, oh, how do I answer this? No,
Say the right thing, Corey, please.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get kicked off the training. But so I will say that I used to prospect Monday through Friday.
Okay.
All the time, every day, all day, right? So
Yes.
now I do prospect, but it might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it might be less hours, sometimes more. So I think that you do have to focus on getting new business while also servicing current clients. But if your numbers aren't where they are, you should be prospecting Monday through Friday for at least a couple hours a day.
Well, and you said in the beginning you were doing a lot more prospecting. As you get better, you're working more efficiently, right?
Right.
You can
Absolutely.
actually lower the number of hours, the quantity, because the quality of your communication and your closing ratios, everything is improving, so you need fewer contacts. Corey, what is your goal for 2023?
Yeah, so my goal for 2023 is to break 200.
Beautiful. Okay.
That is my goal. And even though we were close this year, personally, I do run a team and we far exceeded that as a team. But personally, my goal is to break 200.
What changes are you making in 2023? So two questions. What did you learn in 2022 that you are going to change, or new things you're going to implement so you can break through the 200, which I'm sure you will. Sounds like a piece of cake, but also continue to work efficiently.
Yeah. So in 2022, I learned, and I should have learned this years ago, is that your time is so valuable. So every time you are doing an appointment, a showing, a consultation, you have to make sure that you have the time. You have to make sure you're using it efficiently. You have to make sure that you're managing your time. If you have an hour for a listing appointment, you can't stay there for 2 hours. You have an hour. You have to respect, everyone that you're working with, but you have to respect yourself and you have to respect your time as well. So while I knew that before, I think last year I really implemented it. I kept that schedule. And even if I didn't want to end a conversation with a client or, another agent or a title company, whatever that case is, I'm so sorry, I do have another appointment I have to get to. I really appreciate your time. And I'm so looking forward to working together, because I am, and we are, but you can't stay there an extra hour because you have other things to do. So that's what I plan to implement this year. I learned it more last year. Or really seen it, I should say, when breaking down my calendar, breaking down my schedule and blocking out time. So that's really what I plan to do in 2023.
Yeah, and at the level that you are now, I guess when you're selling 40, 50 homes a year, you should still respect your time, but it's less important because you have more time to basically waste. At the level you are, you have no time to waste. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, whether you're selling one home or 500, everyone's time is important, but you really got to look at, it's critically important that you look at how you're using your time, how much time's being spent there, because at the end of the day, while we all love what we do, and I do, I know you do, it is a business, and we are working in a business, and you have to treat it like a business.
Absolutely. And it's back to having a schedule, time blocking, and and actually following the schedule. That's having a schedule. I think most people have one. Following is another story, right? You got to be very strict with that when you're closing 200 transactions there. Corey, so much conversation about possible recession, higher interest rates, market slowing down. What are your thoughts on how that's going to impact your business this year?
Yeah, and Jackie, we all know it's been a topic of conversation for several months now across the board. And, we've seen interest rates rise and we've seen them come back down recently a little bit. So, I know there's some conversations back and forth, but they're obviously, up from, 2, 3, 2 and 3s. So for me, I look at the economy and I look at my local economy. And I look at what I can do to provide more value to buyers and sellers, how I can provide a better service, how I can make sure people are comfortable with their real estate plan. There's several different options for people, a 2-1 buy down on interest rates. Some people are going to refinance later. Some people don't know that their home still has quite a bit of equity. Values are still up. And so this could still be the right time to sell and make a move or downsize or upsize. So I think for us, it comes from a place of educating our clients, educating our community to know that if a move is in your future, or whatever that is, or first-time home buyers who may be renting and paying 100% interest, that today could still be a good time to buy and to get moving on some equity and some home ownership. So it comes from a place of bringing value, educating people. And if it's not a good time for somebody, that's okay, but it's still a really good time for a lot of people to buy and sell real estate. And I think we just have to make sure people understand what their monthly payment might be, what interest rates are, what different loan programs are out there. And so for us, we're going to focus on our local economy. We're going to focus on helping as many people as we can. And even if that is, educational series, so people understand, that's what we're going to focus on. And I think that 2023 is going to be an amazing year, here locally.
Very well said. You know how, especially newer agents, they hear so much negative stuff about the economy and what the state of the real estate market, and they get nervous, they get scared, they stop believing that they could actually be successful in real estate. It doesn't sound like you're worried about that at all. And I think the key to what you said is providing value, options, solutions to the clients and being knowledgeable about what's going on out there.
Yeah. And Jackie, we all know that nobody wants to hear of a problem. They want a solution. They want an agent that provides value. And I still to this day think part of the reason for, our success in real estate is that we come with solutions, we provide value, we educate ourselves on a daily basis on how to best serve our clients. And when you come from a place of helping, that is what a true real estate agent should be doing, is come from a place of helping. And we all know that businesses grow with that mentality.
100%. You're helping other people get what they want and you'll get what you want, right? There's a famous quote that actually says that. So Corey, again, when you think about let's say a new real estate agent, first year in real estate, you were there not that long ago. First thing you said earlier, they need to have a business plan and be committed to that business plan. What else should they do? Okay, where do they start? How do they make this happen the way you've made it happen?
Yeah, so I started my business on posting on social media and doing open houses. When I was a brand new real estate agent, I got connected with other agents in my brokerage who would allow me to do open houses. And I came there with a plan. Don't just go open the door and hope people come, but making sure it's well marketed, making sure when people come through the door, you can provide them with something that other agents can't. and your amazing service and knowledge of the local market, posting on social media and calling family and friends and making sure that not only do they know that you're a real estate agent, but that they have your cards, and you have to start somewhere. And so for me, that's what it was family and friends, open houses, and social media, and then continuously from there changing the plan, right? You're always, once you get going, going to have referrals, you're going to have more listing opportunities, more buyer consults. But if you don't start somewhere, you can't get to the next step. So you can't start on day one being the top listing specialist of the area, because that top listing specialist did not start out that way. And that's what I think we forget too much, is we think of that realtor locally that gets all the listings and has all the buyers, and that they just, oh my gosh, you know, this person from this company just overnight had this success. And if you talk to that person, just like people come and talk to me, I tell them, I remember standing at an open house and one person came through and they already had an agent, and it wasn't my listing. So I, you know, was there for 2 hours, but that doesn't matter. You have to put in the hard work. You're not always going to have a win, but you should learn from everything you do in this industry and, you know, go from there. And you can't have excuses in real estate. Like we've said, you have to have solutions. You have to have a tough mentality, a tough mental, you know, where you're going. You just have to be positive. And so I would say focus on your mindset and start somewhere and grow from there.
So Corey, you started just focusing on your sphere of influence, the people you knew, and open houses as well. So I'm very, you know, I'm very focused on the prospecting and talking to people you don't know as well. So at what point did you start sort of opening up to speaking with some people that maybe you didn't know?
Yeah, so in it was the end of 2020, I believe. Lisa LaRue, my mentor here in Michigan, had reached out to me and said, I want you to sign up for, you know, some training with Jackie. And this is a true story. I'm not just saying this because we're on the call. This is literally what really led to this. Where my mindset changed about reaching out to people I don't know. So I did before, when I started out, I would reach out to people, but it wasn't what I did once I started a training focused on prospecting. So in 2021, I started making more calls to random people who had an interest in selling their home, whether that be a for sale by owner, an expired, a withdraw, maybe just a sign that I seen in the yard. You know, if maybe they're having a garage sale, and maybe a lot of times when people are having garage sales, they're moving sales. And so that's when I really started reaching out to people. And then in 2022, we definitely did a lot of that. So it was a change in mindset, but it was getting over the fear of calling people. The worst thing you're going to be told is no, or be hung up on. And we all fear that. And there's a lot of rejection in this business. We get rejected almost every day in the real estate industry from buyers, sellers, agents, whatever that is. But if you take that rejection and you focus on that, you'll have more rejection and no wins. If you take that, learn from it, and move on quickly, it's like old news.
Well said. Very well said. And I think it was just as you started reaching out to people you don't know, and also selling the number of homes you do. I'm sure there are a lot of people that you reached out and you don't know them, but they probably know you or heard of you or seen your sign. So the whole thing just adds, or combined, I'm sure it's exceptional. And you said it so well. You can't let the fear of making these calls stop you, because I mean, I was afraid of it too. You were too. We all started in the same place, right? As long as you move on quickly and you're learning, there you go. Amazing. Corey, you're such a joy to speak with. You're so incredible. I really, really appreciate your time. And I think you're going to blow this 200, like blow the roof out of it, because I mean, we're at 183, so it's very exciting. And thank you again. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, until next time, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Jackie.
Absolutely. Thanks, Corey.